In this video, we present Enhancing Manufacturing with AI-Powered Process Design, a joint project involving Agrati S.p.A. and the AI Research and Innovation Center of Politecnico di Milano. In the first part of this presentation, Agrati will present the company's context, describing the production cycle design problem and the many challenges faced every day by the process engineers. The remaining part will be dedicated to demonstrating the capabilities of a tool produced by Politecnico to automatically propose a production cycle for a new component, starting just from its image, together with an outline of the AI techniques involved.
Agrati Group is a worldwide leader in fastener solutions and components for the automotive industry, with 12 production sites, 13 sales and application offices, 5 logistic hubs, and 4 tech centers. According to the customer needs and specific requirements, Agrati produces parts with complex geometry, tight tolerances, innovative materials, and advanced processes. The standard workflow consists of 3 main steps: request, engineering, and operation. First, customers submit a request for quotation, including a technical drawing. Then, Agrati expert engineers design an efficient production cycle to achieve on-time production while minimizing cost. Starting from metal wire, Agrati makes bolts thanks to a cold forming process by means of a progressive press. The forming strategy is composed of several deformation steps to make the desired shape. Metallic materials can transform their shape in more than 10 different ways. Not only its deformation modifies the wire differently, but also the same deformation strategy can lead to different results depending on the set of parameters used. The engineering team selects these parameters based on technical standards, company expertise, finite elements method simulations, and the trial and error approach. The deformation strategy shall respect some technical boundary conditions, such as the ratio between width and length of the deformation step, or the relative initial and final wire diameter. The goal is to define the initial wire cylinder dimensions, the deformation steps, and their specific parameters. Defining the best deformation strategy is time-consuming despite the well-established company know-how. Optimizing past experience with new shapes may take as long as days. In the worst-case scenario, the engineering process may not succeed in identifying the most convenient deformation strategy, this causing delays in industrialization.
This is the AI-powered solution that has been produced to help engineers design the formation cycle for a new component. The interface is very simple and allows a user to upload the image of the component, specify its length in millimeters, and get a cycle proposal. The cycle is graphically rendered, and all formation steps are described together with the required technical parameters. Below the output of our algorithm, you can see the actual ground truth for this component that has been realized by company's trained engineers. As you can observe, our algorithm has been capable of correctly guessing the best production cycle. Here is another example of a more complex component, involving an hexagonal formation of the head. As before, we report below the ground truth for this component, developed by the company's engineers. Once again, the output of our algorithm matches the actual cycle that has been used by the company to produce this piece. A finished component is the product of a sequence of operations applied on a metal thread. Different operations lead to different outcomes. We can formulate the problem of searching for the sequence of operations leading to a feasible metal thread while violating no mechanical constraints as a planning problem with deterministic transitions, where our initial state is the finished component. Our algorithm is based on a backward state space planning. As a result, we can represent the search process by means of a tree where the operations are inverted, starting from the end and reaching a feasible starting thread. Now, we need to formally represent both states and available actions. Every metal piece finished or not, can be mapped to the Cartesian plane by the means of corners coordinates, as it is shown in the figure, while metal deformations can be represented by the composition of parameterized 2D linear transformations. In the figure, we report an example of a rectangle-to-rectangle linear transformation and how it is used to model a free extrusion operation. The application we developed involves more than 10 different operations, and each can be performed in two different versions, to the head or to the stem of the component. Moreover, each operation is parameterized, and the parameter can assume continuous values. Despite the model is fully known and deterministic, the tree size quickly becomes huge, precluding exhaustive search for a correct cycle. This problem raised the challenge of designing a search algorithm that is affordable in practice. To overcome this limitation, we leverage historical data to produce a data-driven heuristic capable of speeding up the algorithm's convergence to a feasible solution. Given any state, our goal is to assign weights to all available actions, and then use a depth-first, greedy search based on those. Those weights should represent, in some way, the likelihood of the action to lead to a feasible production cycle. To compute the weights, we use a dataset comprising both successful and failed cycles. Thus, we can estimate how many times performing a certain operation in a given state resulted in a feasible cycle in the past. First, we embed states images in lower dimensional numerical arrays. This has the advantage to avoid expensive human labeling to get all coordinates from images and to compress information. Then, using standard supervised learning techniques, we train the model to estimate the cycle success probability given a state and an action. This lets us estimate the success probability even for states that have never been in the database. Now, instead of randomly searching the whole tree, we are able to prioritize the most promising actions and traverse a least number of nodes. The reduction in visited nodes is, on average, so big that the additional computational complexity provided by the real-time inference of embedder plus supervised model is negligible with respect to the time saved by exploring less. In the end, our solution was applied to a broad range of components produced by Agrati in the past. For most of them, the algorithm computed a correct cycle in few seconds, often matching humans' ground truth or providing alternative, but equally correct, solutions. Our solution is the first of its genre. It brings novel techniques to the manufacturing sector, and our goal is, in the future, to extend this methodology to many neighboring domains where custom production plays a key role.